Okay, at this time, I'll ask everyone to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity to serve our community. Grant us wisdom, patience, and unity as we make decisions for the good of all. May our actions reflect integrity, justice, and compassion. Amen. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Amato.
Present.
Councilmember Estacio.
Here.
Councilmember Mendez.
Here.
Councilmember Rugg. Here. Councilmember Velez.
Here.
Councilmember Whitner.
Here.
Mayor Dodd.
Here. Thank you, everyone. Tonight we have Edwin Santiago filling in for us for Tara Petoni, who is now out on, working from home actually for a while before she goes on full-blown maternity leave. But welcome, Evelyn. I'm sure you'll do a great job. Thank you. Do we have any committee reports tonight from this council?
Mayor, if I may.
Sure.
I have the Shade Tree Commission report. The Shade Tree Commission met on Thursday, January 8th for its annual reorganization meeting. Kim Phillips was elected chair. Travis Savoy was elected vice chair. The commission is working on a tree inventory made possible by the Green Communities Grant. The inventory is tentatively scheduled to begin in late February or early March. The commission is exploring 2 additional grants that would benefit the town and community. And they will be launching a tree donation program, and those details will be shared soon. Lastly, the Shade Tree Commission is seeking 2 additional commissioners and is asking interested residents to contact the mayor and the Shade Tree Commission. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, Monday, last night I attended the Board of Health meeting, and they had selected the Board of Health members as Darlene Casco, President, Rosita Cinto, Vice President, Rhoda Miles, Irene Hansen, Janice Anthony, and Alessandra Scarnio, also known as Sandra Scarnio, many of us know her as. And also, one of the main things that the Board of Health members had requested that our town committee for the Board of Health reviewed with them an ordinance that was written back in 2009, and they're requesting an update. So we will assist them with the update and report on that once it is complete. We will now be meeting as opposed to in the library, starting at our next meeting in April, on April 13th, Monday evening at 5 o'clock. We will be meeting here at Town Hall. And also, very serious situation. Please, if you have a dog or a cat, please renew the dog cat licenses with the Board of Health. You can give a call to extension 1120, and Ari will be able to answer any questions you may have. January 31st is the license day, the last day to license for your dog. February 28th, the last day to license for your cats, to avoid getting a fee. What you need to bring when you come to register to get the license is a valid rabies certificate, and that needs to be done before you come to register for the license to avoid that late fee. So I would appreciate everyone's assistance and spreading the word for those that are not aware. Thank you.
Mayor, the police committee meeting will be this Thursday at 5 p.m.
Mayor, Fire Committee, in lieu of a meeting this month, since we just met a little less than 3 weeks ago, I invited the new council members to tour the firehouse. We were just there and had a lovely tour with Chief McDougal, Captain Sperry, and the tour that is currently on. We learned a lot about all the apparatus that we have, along with the needs of the the department, which we look forward to discussing in depth as this year continues, including, I'm gonna keep flagging it every meeting, the ladder truck that we're gonna need in the next couple of years. I'm also still waiting to hear back from our health officer for when we can schedule our first health committee meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, if there's nothing else, we will go into our public comment on agenda items only. We have two portions for the public tonight, one on agenda items only. If there's anything on the agenda that you would like to speak to, please step forward to the microphone. Seeing no hands, we'll close this portion to the public. We'll go to approval of our bills list, resolution 27.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Ahmada,
Yes.
Councilmember Estacio,
Yes.
Councilmember Mendez,
Yes.
Councilmember Rugg,
Yes.
Councilmember Velez. Yes. Councilmember Whitner,
Yes.
Mayor Dodd.
Abstain. Okay, we have our consent agenda resolutions. Resolution 28, 2006, authorizing the discharge of mortgage under the rehabilitation program of the Theater Council. Resolution 29, 2026, authorizing the execution of an agreement with St. Clair's EMS Estefano Ortega for medical direction and training. And resolution 30, 2026, approving taxi cab licenses.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Ahmada,
Yes.
Councilmember Estacio,
Yes.
Councilmember Mendez,
Yes.
Councilmember Rugg,
Yes.
Councilmember Velez. Yes. Councilmember Whitner,
Yes.
Mayor Dodd.
Abstain. Okay. It's a very quick agenda here. This brings us to our second, any new business or old business from this board before I open up the public? General comments? Hearing none, we'll go into our public portion. Anyone in the public wish to be heard on any item, please step forward, state your name and address for the record.
Hi, Dennis, 223 State Street, Dover. Just two quick things. Now that, Mr. Rodriguez's legal matter seemed to be settled, are the town done, the taxpayers done with his legal fees? Can you approach the town? I mean, does something have to be voted on that, or is there something that has to be done that now that he's no longer a council person, that his fees are no longer paid by the taxpayers?
I'll answer all the questions at the end.
Okay.
So public-
And second of all, I've been to a lot of town meetings, and the reorganization meeting was the first time I ever heard that empty seats were part of a quorum. It's usually all the vote, I've seen a lot of votes done where just the quorum was the people sitting on the board that day, not empty seats, saying that's part of the quorum. And that was just something new to me that I saw, or heard, if I heard it right. So, thank you, that's all I have.
Thank you. Yes.
Terry McKenna, 130, sorry,
I'm sorry, hold on a second, just make sure your time is up. You got it?
Terry McKenna, 134 Lincoln Avenue, Dover. Just two things, and one is to mention, I'm mentioning an item that was on the agenda, not to discuss its content. It was about some kind of medical arrangement between St. Clair and somebody else. I wish there was, and it's no cost to the town. I have no opinion on it, other than I wish I understood what it was about. I don't really know what's going on. It doesn't cost us anything. I don't know quite, I know who's involved. So I just wish there was maybe a little more English prose narrative on some agenda items so we can know what it is. You know, what's this involved? Well, why are we even involved in something if we don't pay for it? That's one. The other thing is to comment on parking, and not to revisit a whole lot of stuff, is to talk about what time do we consider overnight parking. And I know that we have a lot of parties, or a whole lot of people who were talking various meetings and said, well, then I'd have to call in for my 20 guests or 30 guests. If we had a later time for the parking, let's say 10, 11 o'clock, you still get the overnight people, but you also accommodate almost all the parties. I think that that would be a helpful thing. For me personally, I wish you'd lower the ending time to 6 because I have caregivers who come often before 8 and I don't want to deal with their parking. You know, I had 2 different caregivers today at different times. My wife's an invalid. So those are the things that aren't high cost, I think might be helpful. It wouldn't change the overnight issue in terms of stopping overnight parking. Anyway, that was my 2 cents.
Thank you.
Good evening, TC McCourt, 32 Davis Avenue. First, just something that I realized in the last few days that happened at the reorganizational meeting. Per the code and per municipal land use law, the Class 3 planning board member is supposed to be voted on by the council in a separate resolution. It doesn't appear that happened. That's an easy fix, something you could take care of before you leave tonight, but just wanted to point that out because otherwise Councilmember Santana wouldn't technically serve until that vote takes place. The other thing, Mayor, you mentioned the meeting dates at the reorganizational meeting. I just want to point out that the Board of Ed was able, there were only 2 of the 5 conflicts that the Board of Ed was able to move because of budget season and also the annual school boards conference. There are 3 dates left that conflict right now: April 28th, May 12th, and the last one, October, the second October meeting date. I'm sure the community would appreciate if there's any flexibility in the council in those dates being moved so that there are no conflicts for any meetings this year. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Mayor Dodd, council members, administration, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And I welcome the new members on the board. Councilwoman Menendez, I noticed on your social post that there was an invitation to come at the New Year's meeting for the swearing in of the council members, but one name I didn't see on the list was Councilman Santana, who naturally won his re-election and
And let the record show we have returned from executive session. So we went into executive session. There's a need to be handed over. Our municipal clerk, Karen McConey, as obviously most people know, she is pregnant. She's going to have her 3rd child, and she is going to, for a period of time, work remotely from home. And so while she's doing that, we have a need here for, in her absence, non-binding items that would need to be signed off. They could either be signed off by a registered municipal clerk, RMC, or they could be signed off by a deputy clerk. Certain things that cannot be signed off by a deputy clerk would be bonds, notes, finance documents, things of that nature. But when we're looking at day-to-day operation here in the town of Dover, we look at dog licenses, cat licenses, taxi cabs, drivers, those type of things can be signed off on by a deputy clerk. So tonight I have a resolution that we prepared to present to this council. In the interim, while Tara Petoni is out of the office and until she comes back to the clerk's office in person, I'm going to be making a recommendation to appoint Ed Ramirez as the temporary deputy clerk.
That's crazy.
I will make that motion.
So, second.
Questions or comments from the board?
I just want to thank Ed for taking on this extra responsibility and no additional cost to the town. It's gonna save the town money as opposed to having to hire somebody for like $100K or more. So I think this is a good idea. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
Mayor, if I may, just to echo and highlight what you already mentioned, but I think it's important to highlight it. This is temporary and up until the municipal clerk returns to in person.
Through the chair, it may be helpful if we read the resolution since it wasn't on the agenda. So I just can't get a copy of the revised one. If you want me to read it, I'll read it, or you can.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. And so I'm gonna read the resolution from the beginning. Okay. Resolution 31-2026, a resolution of the mayor and town council of the town of Dover, County of Morris, State of New Jersey, appointing an acting deputy municipal clerk. Whereas Tara M. Pertoni serves as the municipal clerk for the town of Dover, whereas the town does not presently have a deputy clerk to handle the responsibilities of the municipal clerk during her absence for vacation or other temporary unavailability. And whereas NJSA 40A9-133C permits the governing body of a municipality to appoint a person who does not hold a registered municipal clerk certificate to serve as an acting municipal clerk or deputy clerk for a period of not to exceed 1 year. And whereas the mayor and town council, in accordance with law, wishes to appoint an acting deputy municipal clerk to perform all the duties of the municipal clerk during her scheduled absence. Now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and town council for the town of Dover, County of Morris, State of New Jersey, the town hereby appoints Edward Ramirez as the acting deputy municipal clerk effective January 13, 2026, until the municipal clerk returns in person to the clerk's office.
Good. I'll move that.
We have a motion and a second.
Oh, we did? Roll call.
Councilmember Ahmada,
Yes.
Councilmember Estacio,
Yes.
Councilmember Mendez,
Yes.
Councilmember Rugg,
Yes.
Councilmember Velez. Yes. Councilmember Whitner,
Yes.
Mayor Dodd.
Yes, thank you. That's crazy. Okay. There's nothing else from this council. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
All in favor? Thank you for coming, everyone.
Dean's sworn into another term, but he's not here. Councilwoman Rugg, I would address you, but apparently you don't like me talking to you. And the reason I say this, Mr. Mayor, as some of you may know, I work for the Board of Elections as a poll worker. And it may be because I'm a politician, I don't know, but I usually make it a habit of going out and thanking the candidates or wishing them good luck, regardless of what party they are. And I went up to Ms. Rugg at the time of her general election to congratulate her or to wish her good luck, and she said to me, I don't know if I should be talking to you. And I says, why is that? And that's because one of your supporters says, because you're friends with a-hole Mayor Dodd. Now, let me just say for the record that Mayor Dodd and I have been friends going back years when he was in high school, before many of you were even born or even involved in this town. The mayor and I have had agreements, we've had disagreements, but what the definition of a friend is that you can disagree, but at the end of that disagreement, you can still shake hands and hug each other and still be called a friend. And regardless of what negative comments may be said about the mayor and I consider the mayor a very dear friend of mine, and I'm sure he considers me one of his. And one of the problems this town has always had, Mr. Mayor and council members, is that to know when to take the party hats off and when to keep them on. Election time is a time for run on your party. But once the election is over and you're sworn in, the people elected you on the board to be their council members, and that is sitting up there is a privilege and not a right. And they elected you to serve in the best interests of them, not in your own best interests or in the best interests of your party. But not only this administration, but previous administrations, even when I was an alderman, we always had the same problem. Is that party politics always came into interference as to when how people should vote and when they should vote on specific issues. So I hope this board can get over that hurdle. The election is over. Do what's right for your rights of your constituents, and let party politics be aside, because the people elected you to be their representative and to be in their best interest. If you don't, just as easily as they put you up there, they're going to take you out. Thank you very much.
Hi, Maria Chacon in East Blackwell Street. I don't even know what that is. Like, that is a personal attack on people that just joined the board. And the name is not Menendez, it is Mendez. And these people, you know, I understand that this person is a supporter of yours, but this is like wild that this person was able to come up here and just ramble on without any message. For me, I'm just worried about, one, I heard that we're live streaming, so that's great. Can you confirm, so are we doing this through Facebook or are we doing it through YouTube, this meeting right now?
It is Facebook.
Okay, so that's great, I'm so happy. And I'm happy that it's a very short meeting. I also wanted to ask, like, there's this big thing going on with Claudia Toro, who is somebody that used to sit up there, one of our council people. I want to know what's going on. Are we going to have to pay for anything done in the past, like we did with Sergio Rodriguez? And I wanted to also, somebody else mentioned, I think it was Dennis, about, are we done with paying Sergio Rodriguez's legal fees, because he was striking up a deal, and maybe this could have been avoided, and we did not have to pay over $80,000 to help him with private legal aid. So thank you so much.
Anyone else? Seeing no hands and hearing no voices, I'll turn this question to the public. I will address some of the questions and comments that were made here tonight. We'll start with Mr. Tui. I've said this before and I'll say it again, when an elected official is acting in the capacity of an elected official, the town has an obligation to provide representation for them. Sergio Rodriguez and Claudia Toro are both no longer elected officials. There will not be any additional legal representation for either one of them. So I want to be clear about that. In a capacity, if an individual is acting in the capacity as an elected official, we have that obligation. If they are acting in a personal capacity, we do not. So I just want to make that clear. Mr. McKenna, your comment tonight was well taken about the parking. That's something we're working on now. In fact, I made a commitment to this community that within a couple of weeks we would have a newsletter out addressing it. I was handed the draft here tonight. I will approve this tomorrow. This was done in-house by our team here, our administrative team. And I will proofread this tomorrow, and if we need to make any changes to it, we will, and it will be out hopefully by the end of this week to the entire community. We're sending out a newsletter explaining everything that we discussed. As you all know, we put the entire parking ordinance on hold until we can take a lot of the concerns from the public into account before we enforce the ordinance. There's a lot to it. It's I explained this many times, and I'm glad that I can have this opportunity here tonight, because when we tried to have two informational sessions with the public, it became a shouting match where nothing gets accomplished. Nothing. We want to hear the residents' concerns. We want your input. We want to know what's important to you in this ordinance. And I can tell you that, for many years, I received phone calls of people trying to park in front of their home on the street, and they can't because there's so many cars, there's so many people living in Dover now that there's unfortunately not enough public street parking. So an entire year went into the study on this with our town planner, Alex Darty, counted every single public parking space in town on every single street. And so it's a very comprehensive plan. We heard the public's concerns, and we're addressing that moving forward. Nothing will be enforced until we again, I said it many times, this is a work in progress, and it's gonna continue to be a work in progress until we get it right. So, we heard you, and we're taking all of that into concern. I'm not sure about the class 3 member for, AB Santana, but we certainly can address that at the next council meeting. We need to look into that and confirm that that's the case. Bob, I wanna comment on, your statements here. It speaks volumes that you take the time to congratulate elected officials, because not everybody can do that, whether you agree with that individual or not. I know who you are, I know the type of person you are. I think your message was very clear here tonight, that your request here is to tell the council to put the past behind us and move on. And I agree with that, and I wanna thank you for those comments. So, I know the message to me was very clear what you said, and I think it was to the rest of this council. And so, as we move forward and we put the past behind us, I know all of us here, sitting up here tonight, have the best intentions of the taxpayers of Dover moving forward. And we will continue to do that. I have tonight, I need to go into executive session to talk to this council for a few minutes. So I will make a resolution on that. We'll make a motion to go into executive session. I'll make the motion. Personnel item.
Second.
Councilmember Ahmad,
Yes.
Councilmember Estacio,
Yes.
Councilmember Mendez,
Yes.
Councilmember Rugg,
Yes.
Councilmember Velez. Yes. Councilmember Whitner,
Yes.
Mayor Dowd.
Yes. We should only be a few minutes tonight. Thank you for your patience. So we went into executive session. There's a need in the town of Dover. Our municipal clerk, Tony, as obviously most people know, she is pregnant. She's going to have her third child, and she is going to, for a period of time, work remotely from home. And so while she's doing that, we have a need here for, in her absence, non-binding items that would need to be signed off. They could either be signed off by a registered municipal clerk, RMC, or they could be signed off by a deputy clerk. Certain things that cannot be signed off by a deputy clerk would be bonds, notes, finance documents, things of that nature. But when we're looking at day-to-day operation here in the town of Dover, we look at dog licenses, cat licenses, taxi cabs, drivers, those type of things can be signed off on by a deputy clerk. So tonight I have a resolution that we prepared to present to this council. In the interim, while Tara Petoni is out of the office and until she comes back to the clerk's office in person, I'm going to be making a recommendation to appoint Ed Ramirez as the temporary deputy clerk.
That's crazy.
I will make that motion.
So, second.
Questions or comments from the board?
I just want to thank Ed for taking on this extra responsibility and no additional cost to the town. It's gonna save the town money as opposed to having to hire somebody for like $100K or more. So I think this is a good idea. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
Mayor, if I may, just to echo and highlight what you already mentioned, but I think it's important to highlight it. This is temporary and up until the municipal clerk returns to in person.
Through the chair, it may be helpful if we read the resolution since it wasn't on the agenda. So I can't get a copy of the revised one. If you want me to read it, I'll read it, or you can. Yeah, thank you. And so I'm going to read the resolution from the beginning. Okay. Resolution 31-2026, a resolution of the mayor and town council of the town of Dover, County of Morris, State of New Jersey, appointing an acting deputy municipal clerk. Whereas Tara M. Petoni serves as the municipal clerk for the town of Dover, whereas the town does not presently have a deputy clerk to handle the responsibilities of the municipal clerk during her absences for vacation or other temporary unavailability, and whereas NJSA 40A9-133C permits the governing body of a municipality to appoint a person who does not hold a registered municipal clerk certificate to to serve as an acting municipal clerk or deputy clerk for a period of not to exceed 1 year. And whereas the mayor and town council, in accordance with law, wishes to appoint an acting deputy municipal clerk to perform all the duties of the municipal clerk during her scheduled absence. Now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and town council for the town of Dover, County of Morris, State of New Jersey, the town hereby appoints Edward Ramirez as the acting deputy municipal clerk effective January 13, 2026, until the municipal clerk returns in person to the clerk's office.
Good. I'll move that.
We have a motion and a second.
Oh, we did? Roll call.
Councilmember Ahmada,
Yes.
Councilmember Estacio,
Yes.
Councilmember Mendez,
Yes.
Councilmember Rugg,
Yes.
Councilmember Velez. Yes. Councilmember Whitner,
Yes.
Mayor Dodd.
Yes, thank you. That's crazy. Okay. There's nothing else from this council. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for coming, everyone.